The Odai Plateau, truly a verdant paradise of potential and opportunity, just perfectly situated just halfway between Balmora and Hla Oad, right alongside the Odai River. This is just an ideal spot to set up your stronghold, but alas, in the vanilla game, you're never really given a proper opportunity to develop the place. You can't turn it into a true hub of commerce and trade that would be more appropriate for, the Grand Master of Great House Hlaalu. Because even after you become the Grand Master, the stronghold of the Odai Plateau, Rethan Manor, continues to just be a tiny, tiny town, smaller than Gnar Mok, and especially smaller than Saran. Does that make sense? Shouldn't the stronghold of the Grand Master be, a little more grand? And that brings me, naturally, to today's More the Day, because today we're showcasing Resplendent Rethan, Jewel the Odai by Team Azturnal, a mother-daughter team composed of Misty and Calico Gwyn, and updated in 1.1 by Big Boss, Alice L93, and Lucifer. And basically, this is both an overhaul and expansion to the Odai Plateau and Rethan Manor, just both overhauling and expanding the stronghold that you get to build, and also overhauling the landscape of the Odai Plateau. Now you'll find that the road up to the Odai Plateau actually just goes all the way through and connects to Hla Oad, giving you a shorter path to get to, the Bitter Coast. And also there's a little, side road just hugging the cliff here, and just some really beautiful and scenic waterfalls just adding to the visual splendor of the Odai Plateau. But of course, the real meat here is the expansion to Rethan Manor, with about 6 new buildings added to, the construction process of your stronghold. Just added naturally to each development stage, as you construct your stronghold. Some new content will appear at every stage. Like, at first, you might get a bookshop, which, priorities, that's what I would pick first too. And then at the next stage, you'll get a smithy, or maybe a guest house, and just so on and so forth. And what's really great about this mod in particular is that it integrates new content at every development stage, and pretty much just across the entire board. The changes aren't just limited to new buildings, there's also new details, like you'll get a new set of docks, and over time, they'll update with more additional details, like you might get a market stand at the docks, and some cranes and signs of industry, and the bookshop might have a little outdoor tavern that'll just open up on top of it, and it is a really well put together and detailed expansion to Rethan Manor. And in fact, I would go so far as to say that it's probably one of the best overhauls and expansions of Rethan Manor. Like most of the mods that we get tend to only overhaul the manor. They don't tend to actually expand the stronghold. And those mods that do, expand the stronghold, they usually fall into one of two categories. They either fall into the category of just adding in all the buildings with no actual construction phases, so all the buildings will just already be there before you've even started construction on your stronghold, or they'll just heavily utilize copy and pasted interiors, just not giving you a whole lot of new content. And this mod doesn't do, either of those things. It actually does, add these new buildings to the construction phase. It does give them unique interiors. And just a pretty great overhaul of Rethan Manor with a beautifully expanded set of interiors, including a gorgeous master bedroom, a scenic set of vaults and display chambers, and just a lot of, amenities that you might want in a player house. There's even a new multi-part quest to just expand your egg mine with new miner barracks and a warehouse. This is simply a gorgeous and scenic overhaul and expansion to the Odai Plateau and Rethan Manor. And really, it is, again, I think, just one of the best overhauls and expansions out there for Rethan Manor. There's even just a little bit of verticality here, you know, just with how the Odai Plateau overlooks the Odai River, and also those gorgeous waterfalls. But unfortunately, I do need to note that this will just conflict with quite a few mods. Unfortunately, just due to the location of where the Odai Plateau is, there's a lot of other popular mods in a just kind of close proximity to this. Just to note some of the conflicts I encountered, I found conflicts with the Expedition to Muzzlethind, the Imperial Duma Society, Ob the Ashen Divine, Grot Morrowind Salt Trees, and the Sable Dragon. And all those were landscape conflicts to one degree or another. And unfortunately, that's kind of hard to avoid. Just any landscape changes made to the Odai Plateau is probably going to end up conflicting with one of those mods. That's just kind of the one major downside here to just an otherwise really beautiful and scenic looking mod. But, anyway, just moving on, this is actually just another mod in sort of our retrospective of the mods of Madness Past, and in fact it's the last mod that we'll be taking a look at. This was a mod submitted for the second round of the 2019 Season of Madness. And once again, it is a mod that was built in just 2 weeks' time. It ended up coming in, I think, 3rd place, and helping set Team Azturnal as the 3rd place winners of the 2019 Madness competition. But anyway, that's just our mod of the day. So as always, I've been your host, Dark Elf Guy. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, happy modding, and I'll see you all next time.